Hi, and welcome to Danny After Dark. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a notification or a new episode. Tonight is the weekly True Crime and Chill. Mr. Beckham is in the chat. He's not backstage yet, so he must be in a dilemma of what candle to light. However, we will carry on until he decides to finally do his job and get backstage. So, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I don't know about y'all. It's been a week. It has been such a long week, but nonetheless, we're here. The cats are out and about. So yeah, they're pretty rambunctious right now, even though they just ate. So like, Lord knows what commotion will be going on, but y'all asked for it. Y'all like the cats. So it is what it is. All right, everybody, let's see who's here. Well, Mr. Beckham's in the chat. That's lovely. Capone, hello. Chris James. Tony Stewart, hello. K-Dog, hello. Lil Milky. And for those who are watching but not in the chat, thank you for joining. We are a nice bunch. Feel free to join in the chat and partake in the conversations that we're having. Or if there's a true crime case in your area or something this week that happened and you're like, Danny, you need to look at this, post it, message me. All is good and I will check it out. I'm in the group. Yeah, you are so full of it, Beckham. And you know what the funny thing is? I actually, went to the gym tonight and wore my Mr. Beckham shirt. I'm like, I'm going to represent my friend. I'm going to represent my friend. And can he be here on time? Absolutely not. All right, let's see what the cat dragged in. Hi.
I was just enjoying your green room. I always tell people, I always give compliments. You have a
Did you hear what I just said? I went to the gym tonight and I wore the Mr. Beckham shirt.
Right. That's nice. Somebody probably said, who's that?
Actually, no one gave a shit. So, it's right. Fine. It's fine. Beckham needs a new producer. Okay, dog. I want to time you out just for that. Hey, Wolf. Good to see you. So, couple administrative things, and then we'll get started. So next week, as a reminder, next Thursday night is going to be the very first Danny After Dark book club show. So if you want to partake.
Already? You already read the book?
I have not finished it yet.
What?
I've not finished it yet. That's going to be part of my notes about the book.
Wait, did you guys already decide on a book?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Joins the Danny After Dark book club group. It's voted on at the beginning of the month, and then we meet at the end of the month.
Man, I'm sorry. This week was a long week, and I'm just glad to be here right now.
I'm happy you're here too. Well, if anybody does want to join, whether you want to join on camera in the chat, or if you're just like, I don't want to be in either of those, but I want to watch it and be a part of, what y'all are talking about. It's Truman Capote in Cold Blood. So that will be next Thursday's show. And early next week, I'll post all of that information, end this weekend. I will be a part of a panel through Camp Elasticity Productions, Zach Kopp. He asked me to be a part of that. So that will be early next week. Again, I'll post that information towards the end of the week. So if you guys want to check that out, you can feel free to do so. All right. Karen Diamond is in the chat. Hi. Oh my gosh. Thank you. That's so sweet. Hope you and your cats are all well. They are. Thank you.
Well, hello, mate.
Hi, Beckham. We'll just skip over that part.
Hello, mate.
Karen, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. James Watson is here. Normally when someone says they wore a Beckham shirt, they have done a walk of shame. I can 110% say I did not do a walk of shame. I purchased the shirt myself. It's my own show shirt. I purchased it myself. Working and listening. Well, I'm sorry that you're working so late, hon.
Wow, are you at the office? Were you part of like Trump's?
All be more like that. Work hard on a Friday night.
Were you part of Trump's mandate to return to work?
Beckham, we're not going there. We're not going there. Wolf, I admire your work ethic.
He's probably like in the garage or something, putting something together. I don't know.
James Watson, I let him answer that. I cannot confirm or deny if he's been maybe in like a little bit of trouble, maybe seeking out some legal advice from Casey Anthony. I don't know. I don't know.
I could totally see James doing that. James, you gotta try it out. James, just please try it out so you can have something you can bring it to the table.
Yeah. Yeah, I hired Casey Anthony for my legal representation, and here's my story. You will be the Danny After Dark exclusive episode. Putting together the chair from Bird After Virginia Wolf. No, I'm editing a awesome. If y'all want to subscribe to Wolf's channel, please do so. Please do so. If you have a wrench, you're able to click on his name and go right to his channel. Subscribe if you're not. Wolf, if you don't mind, just because I have a million screens up and I don't want to mess up anything, put a link to your channel, please. People, subscribe to his channel. Awesome. Okay. Tony Stewart, you're not that far behind. So reel it back, hon. Reel it back. Danny After Dark might be a parole violation. K-Dog, you are like extra spicy tonight, and I'm kind of digging it. All right, let's get started. We are not going to go in order. Had Beckham been here on time, we're not going to go in order of my show notes.
I was like, oh, here we go.
We're not going to. Y'all know what we're going to talk about tonight, Karen Reed. We'll wait a little bit on that. Because yeah, it's a lot, but it's explosive a lot. And the retrial hasn't even happened yet, but we'll get to that. So we will start with Lori Vallow Daybell, who is the wife of who?
Chad Daybell.
So Lori Vallow Daybell was in court with advisory counsel this past week in Maricopa County prosecutors to address outstanding discovery requests and trial logistics. As we know, she is going to be on trial for another murder and has chosen to represent herself.
Oh, no.
Here's the thing. She told a judge that she's determined to stand trial for murder as planned on March 31st, even if the rest of her defense team isn't ready. Lori is also considering testifying in her own defense and wants to call reporter Nate Eaton as a witness. Lori, again, the requests have not stopped. She wants a digital forensics expert to examine her late former husband's phone and other pieces of evidence that she alleges she has yet to receive from prosecutors or prior attorneys who withdrew from representing her. Superior Court Judge Justin Bresky reminded Lori that he may decide to exclude her expert's findings if prosecutors convince him it's not admissible for any number of reasons, including untimeliness. The state deputy county attorney, Trina Kay, expressed concern that the prosecution would be unable to locate and interview the 21 people who are on Lori Vallow's witness list. The trial is supposed to begin on March 31st with discussions of responses from the jury questionnaire. So that would be the first step. So it would still take a little bit of time before they do the jury questionnaire, a jury is selected, and then the actual trial begins. But nonetheless, all the kind of pieces need to be put in place. Everybody has to have their ducks in a row. And the prosecution hasn't been able to get in contact with all of the people Lori Vallow want on her witness list. And Lori, and then her team that's kind of working underneath her, they're not even ready. And she's like, let's go. We're going. Beckham, what do you think?
Well, we know that maybe she should hire that service you talked about earlier.
Casey Anthony?
Yeah. This is not going to go good, man. And it's just going to be another drug out drama session all over again. So, and we know what's probably going to happen. So she's not really, it's going to just hurt her case more. And, again, we talked about this last week, how if she joined forces with the one and only, how it would just bring more eyes to everything. And, just add to the drama, really, because this is what I see this case. That's what I see when you talk about this case. Unfortunately, there were, of what happened, but it's just going to just be more, more drama.
Yeah. I think this will be like 10 times more of a shit show than her first trial because, if she's representing herself and then she's going to call herself as a witness. Ted Bundy did that and it didn't go good for him. It's just one of those. And the judge, there was, if you guys look up the articles, you can find, or even the videos, you can find the conversation like verbatim in the transcript of what the judge was saying to Lori. But he's saying, like, are you clear? Do you understand that going forward without X, Y, and Z? And she's like, yes. And she's been found, she's legally sane to go. It's not like she's not fit to stand trial.
But there's just a thing about having knowing procedure, right? Knowing procedure, having that experience. With that experience comes confidence. With that confidence comes the ability to be able to really maneuver within the trial. Of course, you're talking about an experienced attorney, and giving yourself or your client a chance, right? I think we'll get to more of that here in the Karen Reed stuff, but you can't just think you're going to be able to just do something with that. So
she thinks so,
and I can't believe people even think about doing that themselves. Again, she's gonna fumble, she's gonna step over herself, and it's just gonna be, like you said, a dramatized shit show because of everything that's going to happen. And we already foresee it happening, and we know it's going to happen. And the judge is probably like, oh, here we go. I'm just going to sit here and have to deal with this. And it's just going to be really, really bad. And it's going to be bad for herself. I mean, it's going to really be bad for herself. And I know how the evidence is stacked and all that, but still, it's just going to be just a crazy, like you said, type of show.
The important question, when she goes to trial for this murder, do you think in any way, shape, or form we will hear about the storm?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe she might revert back to something, and it might come up.
Yeah.
Do you think it will?
Wait, literally or figuratively?
Oh, good one.
I'm here all night, folks. Oh man,
I did that on purpose.
No, you didn't actually. I know you didn't.
I know.
Oh, we will keep you all
trying to keep a clean show here. Come on.
We're a family show. Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted. The 31st is just 10 days away. So we will see. Hey, Kathy and Zach came in the chat. Zach, so I mentioned at the top of the show that there will be a panel that I'll be on early next week with you. If you're able to give any more information in the chat, feel free to do so about that. Even like the day, the time, and the place. That would be awesome. So I just kind of gave like a teaser, but if you want to give a little bit more, feel free. The cat behind Danny needs to come. Yeah. Yeah. They are wild tonight. They are wild tonight. Um, let's keep it G rated. Keep it G rated. I wonder if reality will ever hit her. I don't think so. K Dog. What about you? Beckham? No.
No, because I think it's like God, they were what, a cult, like sort of a cult from that, from their religion and the
Mormonism. Yeah.
Mormons, yeah, and we talked about that and to a degree and that kind of thing, and then they're just their mindset is different,
Mhm.
right? And it's just the way they see things and believe in things, so no.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, whew, this is going to be one of those ones where like I'll be catching up when they get out of work. I'll be like, what did I miss every single day of the trial?
I'm telling you, man, like when someone represents themselves, it's never good.
No, no. But I will say I mean, she's very mentally different than Sarah Boone, but Lori at least like isn't as aggressive as Sarah Boone is. As far as we know, I don't know. That was a show in
And
itself.
you said what Bundy tried it and it didn't go very well, right?
Oh no, not at all.
Right.
Not at all. He thought he was like he has the same or had the same kind of mindset in regards to like I think I'm the smartest person in the room.
Right. His ego,
His ego,
egotistical.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hers, I think she thinks she's the smartest person in the room, not because of an ego, but because she's just so out of touch with reality. But I still think she thinks she
And
knows
that's
better.
and that's why we're here talking about her, because that's dangerous in itself, and
Oh
where
yeah.
her mindset is at, because that had to do with a lot with what happened,
Hmm.
and that's really, really dangerous. Essence why we're talking about her. So
Yeah. Mormon is James Watson says Mormonism isn't a cult. No, it's a religion, but they went kind of off to I don't know
yeah,
what the
they
exact wording is. Like
right.
if Renee is here, she'd be able
Yeah,
to
I was
better.
gonna say Renee, what she called it a cult.
She called, yeah. There's
But she can better
they went
describe it.
outside of the
Right,
like
right,
normal range of what they're supposed to do with this, and it went like way too far. And then Chad Daybell had like his own followers that he convinced,
yeah. Like
he was the
Capone kind of puts it.
prophet. So
Capone puts it different. Capone's talking about they were a cult inside the Mormonism, right? Yeah, it's almost like they took their own spin on it and did with kind of went their own way with it, away from the originality belief system in it. I guess however you want to talk about it. So.
yeah, yeah,
Hey man, Renee called it out. I'm just saying what Renee said.
yeah. If
And
Renee
she and
said it, then
she
it's
and she
valid.
yeah, and she lived, I think she was, kind of she did that for a while.
Yeah, she's been very open in the chat
Right. She's
here. I'm
been
not
very open.
doxing
Yeah.
anything. She's been very
Right.
open that she was, in Mormonism as
Right.
well, in that community and religion. Yeah. Um, searching for Jim Morrison things, Danny. That goes with this. So, okay, the panel I'll be on early next week. Thank you, Zach, for posting this. It'll be on Zoom, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and it will be on rarebutseries.com later that night or early the next day. Okay, gotcha. So it won't be live. My bad on that. I will let you all know when it's posted. So, okay, cool. Thank you for clarifying that. But I'm very, very excited. So once it's up and ready, I will, make sure to let all y'all know. And in the meantime, go over to Zach's channel, order his book, Rare But Serious, if you have not already. And watch when he was on a couple of weeks ago talking about that book when it just went released as well. So support Zach, please, please do so. They dress nice and knock on your door. Are you
See, I
talking
don't.
about Jehovah's
I've
Witnesses?
never seen that. No, I've never had them knock on the door.
Yeah, I've never had them knock, but it might just be where we
The
live.
only thing that I know about Mormons is that most of the BYU football team or that's like that school
Brigham Young.
Brigham Young is more right, has that background. And that's about it. That's the only thing I know really have ever known about that. So so if somebody came and said, "Hey, I'm Mormon," I wouldn't like judge. It would be like, oh, it's like saying you're Catholic. It's like no big deal. It's to me. So
Right. I remember it first kind of being thrust into the media with Jodi Arias and
Oh wow, yeah. The
Travis
90s or
Alexander.
something, right? Then in the 90s,
Yeah, because
wasn't
he
she
was
in the
Travis,
90s?
and then
No.
Travis was Mormon, and then she converted.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Jodi Arias is a whole nother shit show in
I don't
herself.
know that case. I just kind of was estimating a time period.
Hey, Russell.
Heads up, Russell. I was just estimating the time period. That's all.
Yeah.
I really don't know much about it.
All right, so we'll keep you posted on that because there will be more to keep you posted on Lori Vallow. So yeah, we'll see. All right, Brian Koberger. There's not a ton per se, but the selfie. Beckham, that selfie. When I tell you, I mean, granted, on Instagram, I'm subscribed to I follow a lot of true crime pages,
Right.
obviously. When I tell you, I was scrolling and it was just his selfie,
Well,
everybody
a
posted.
lot came out this week about him, and that was one of the things was that the selfie. I when I first saw something on it, I was like, "What's the big deal about the selfie?" I didn't even. I was like, "What? He's just taking a picture." I didn't know he took it supposedly that early morning
Mhm.
hours, and um, let's see. I kind of okay. Is it really missing? I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is it really missing a um? Is it
Shower
really
curtain?
miss? Yeah, is it really missing a
Yes.
shower curtain? Because the shower curtain could be moved to the side.
No, 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 no. I'm pulling it up now.
And so he has brushy eyebrows in that picture.
Well, that's the thing. Some don't like the defense is trying to be like, see, there's not bushy eyebrows. I think that's bushy eyebrows. Okay, let me see if I
And
can
maybe he was
compare.
exchanging his maybe he exchanged his shower curtain, was throwing it in the trash, got a new one from Amazon because he had ordered on Amazon. That's another thing that came out this week was his particular order. Hey, you bringing up pictures? Look at you.
I know.
I'm so
21st
proud of you,
century.
dude. I'm so proud of you. This is a surprise. Wow.
I know.
Sorry.
So, all right, Beckham has been talked.
Okay,
Yeah.
look, the to me the shower curtain could be by his wrist where he has the top. What is that? That's not a wall.
That looks like a wall.
No, it's sticking out too much. It's like a bubbled
That looks like
wall.
a wall where a shower is.
No, that looks like an ending of a possible curtain to me. But I could be wrong. I don't know. It would have been just nothing if the curtain was just behind him. But it looks like, to me, it looks like, hey man, he took a shower, he's getting dressed, he probably got his headphones on, listening to music or something. I don't know. I don't know why he would, but in the
Mm.
4 o'clock in the morning or whatever, maybe he was going for breakfast. He's got his shirt out. He's going out, kind of dressing like a Mormon, tying that last button up. Um, yeah, it looks like he's just ready to go get some IHOP breakfast or Waffle House breakfast. I mean,
Christ's sakes. So, okay,
I don't know.
let's
I'm
roll
trying to
it
get.
back. Let's roll it back. So, this selfie, as Beckham has already kind of mentioned, is that it was allegedly taken the morning after the murders. So, just several hours after the murders of the 4 Idaho college students had occurred. This is in his bathroom, as you can notice. There appears to be, one may argue, but no shower curtain behind him. And we know
Well,
that.
it's not behind him. It's to the right.
I disagree that that's a shower. I
That's
know.
not a wall. It could be. I mean, it's like sticking out a little bit. Why would a wall stick out? Well,
At the end of the day, law enforcement had access to that bathroom, so I know that they have either pictures and or video. So they'll be able to show that in court. And
all right.
I may
Okay.
be wrong, you may be wrong. I'm usually never
Oh,
wrong.
I'm
But
I'm right at all. I'm just giving you my assessment right now. That's what it looked. And I'm agreeing with you. It kind of looks like he's got some bushy eyebrows. If it's any
right.
thicker, if his eyebrows are any, I mean, his eyebrows are just a millimeter shy of Luigi's.
Oh my gosh, that's so So somebody else mentioned that too. So, okay, few things. Yes, Tony Stewart. Yes, this was taken supposedly a few hours after the
And he
murder.
looks fresh, dude. He doesn't look like he's worn. It doesn't look like he just murdered 4 people.
Okay. I mean, how many people have gotten away with crimes because it doesn't look like they committed a crime? I
Dude,
mean,
killing one as opposed to 4 is a lot of work.
I
Danny,
know, but
come on, Danny. Don't
I
come on.
know.
Come on.
So K Dog
Let's
saying
be
he needs to,
rational here. I know that you have a little bit of a push towards you want him guilty, but let's be a little bit let's be rational here a little bit.
innocent until proven guilty
There you go.
legally, not in my mind, but legally. He needs to take a plea if they offer it, unless he plans to appeal his conviction. K Dog, I agree. James Watson, those aren't bushy eyebrows. Linguini has bushy eyebrows. We can't know enough to see if he has a shower curtain. Carol Wayman, hello, saying he's so creepy. I agree. Capone is saying, yeah, it is the lighter shade thing. It's not straight up and down. It's a shower curtain, not a wall. I respectfully disagree, but I could be wrong. James Watson is saying he's listening to Danny After Dark. I'm going to give that a star, James Watson. Tony Stewart, he just showered. He had to clean all the blood off himself. I agree. Why don't we ask Jim Watson what's behind that photo? You can even see the hook. Okay, well, the hook there to me doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that there's a curtain there. But just saying. Collared, buttoned up, and no tie, certified psycho. Let's see, K-Dog. He either searched or ordered a second knife after the murder. Speculation is because he ditched the first one and planned more murders. I don't know about
Danny,
the very last part. But
I mean, I think people are having like trouble with the fact that they found other people's DNA at the crime scene.
That's fair.
That's, I think, the problem here. I get it. I would be like, okay, this is not. That does look like a hook to the right, to the top left, correct? Mm-hmm. Again, like I think that's where people are struggling there, without just saying, oh, it's 100% he did, all that, right? And they're gonna have to justify that during, of course, the trial, and the defense is gonna try to make motions and move their strategy to that, right? I mean, that's their best deal. Unless, I mean, I did hear early on this week that they had a something that was going to be shocking. Like, this isn't, to me, this is not, I mean,
this isn't.
Is not, it wasn't exactly, pointed out which side had this huge evidence, right? So, we'll have to just wait. But it's interesting that there's no, of course, I mean, there would be a curtain, whatever, why, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's putting up his hand like he got the blood off pretty quick.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, and I feel like it could be argued either way.
I think so.
James Watson. Oh, Susan Atkins would have live streamed it on Instagram. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So just to wrap up in regards to Kohberger's picture. So prosecutors want this picture shown at trial because they're stating they hope this photo will support the eyewitness's description of the person they saw inside the home on the night of the murders. Even within the chat here with y'all, there's a discrepancy of some of you saying, yes, those are bushy eyebrows. And then others of you saying, no, those aren't bushy eyebrows. So it's going to be interesting how they're going to argue that at trial, because we're all right in this. It's speculative, So we'll see on that. But yeah, that photo, I guarantee, that was one where, again, when I was scrolling, I'm like, I'm seeing this like 500 times a day. Everybody's reposting this. So
I don't know, man. It's not clear cut. It's like, oh my God, look, there's no curtain, but the curtain could be off to the side.
Yeah, and Chris James, reasonable doubt. Absolutely. There is, I will say, there's a lot of questions, and I know they will get addressed at trial because we as the public are not privy to, we shouldn't know every little detail going into this,
And
but
it's the
there's,
trial's in August, correct? Late August?
yes.
Yeah, it's up right into football season. That's
Yeah,
right.
and we'll see how long it even takes them to pick a jury because so
Oh,
many people are
that's
familiar
right.
with this case.
That's right.
Yeah. If the bushy eyebrows are clipped, you must acquit. Okay, you spelled acquit completely wrong, but I know what
Quit.
you're saying, James Watson. You know what? I'm going to give you a star for that too. I really am.
Sometimes sometimes you do have to think like Johnny Cochran. What would Cochran do? What would
God,
Cochran say?
that's a whole side conversation that we could have for another half hour. I don't know if I want to go down that path, but
What would Cochran? We should have a segment. What would Cochran say? Cochran say?
oh God.
What would Johnny say?
Look,
What
hey,
would
John, cut
Johnny?
when you're right, he's
Hey,
cooked.
what would Johnny C? Is Johnny C. say?
Let's move on because I can't. My mind can't go down that road. It doesn't have the capacity to go down that road tonight.
It's been a long week.
It has been a long week. It really has. Yeah, and you know when you're like, just a quick side tangent, when you're at work and it's like one of those like, oh my God moments. Yeah, I had one of those earlier where, or not today, but earlier this week where I messaged Beckham, Paul, and the Liz, and I was like, y'all gotta hear this. Y'all gotta hear the story that just happened. It's just, yeah. And when I say hear the story, not Trooper Proctor style. I know, you know what you can say, what you can't say, and all that. It's just, yeah, yeah. And if you're wondering, Danny, why are you bringing up Trooper Proctor? Oh, we'll get to him in a minute. We sure will. Hey, Doug, welcome. So, all right, the next story, Kimberly Sullivan. I don't know how many of y'all have heard about this. It has been rampant here in New England, like wild. Everybody's talking about this case. Beckham, where you are in Texas, have you heard of this?
No.
Kimberly Sullivan? Oh, okay.
The only thing that's happening in Texas right now, no offense or anything, or not,
No.
is all the ICE deportations and the fights with the cartels and all the drug trafficking. I'm sorry, and all the drug seizures, drug dealing seizures. So that's it. Nothing like there's no major case or nothing like that. That's all we hear in Texas, right? And the measles, something about measles outbreak.
I have read about that.
Oh, wait a minute. I think they're in Boston now. In
Not that
Massachusetts.
I heard.
I think it's made it up there.
I wouldn't be surprised if it
But
did.
anyway,
I
yeah.
remember reading about measles breaking
Yeah,
out.
so that's all. That's that. I'm sorry. That's just that's the only thing happening in Texas is that cartels, drugs, and ICE. Deportation.
Hey, Tony, that is very sweet. Thank you, Tony. Let's see. Shelly made her way. Where's Shelly? I saw her coming. Hey, Shelly, good to see you. Capone saying that Brian Koberger had accomplices. I disagree, but we'll see.
Who said that?
Capone is.
Dude, I couldn't handle that. That would be just.
I don't think so.
Could you really? I mean, that would just be.
The more people that know,
I would just be like, okay, I give up and walk away from it because that would just be I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to think of the possibility because how did he meet these people? How does he know these people? He seems like a loner to me.
Agreed.
He seems like he's socially awkward.
Agreed.
He's kind of like somebody right now helping running the government a little bit. Kind of seems a little bit out there.
Fathering 14 kids, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I won't say the words, but he doesn't seem to me to be part of and as much as I can't believe I'm going to say this, I don't even think he could join the Manson group. The Manson group would have kicked him out.
Oh God, Beckham, you went there. You went there. Paulcast, are you listening?
I just can't see this guy being part of a squad. I mean, I can't. I just can't.
Oh,
I don't. I would just be like, what? I literally would just throw everything up in the air and walk away, and I would take a leave of absence, Danny, from the show.
stop it. It's so bad. Oh God, Tony Stewart. Oh God, Whack Jack. Whack Jackie. Hello. Oh my. I can't even. Oh my. I can't even see straight back on you. Like. Okay, so you are familiar with the Sullivan case. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, before we get to that, since Beckham brought it up, in regards to the Manson case, if you have not already, go over to the Paulcast. That is the show that is Paul, me, and Beckham. We have done that channel, oh God, years now. A lot of the content we have removed just as information has come either up to kind of, yeah, a lot of information with the Manson case, if you will. But point being, Paul did an interview with Anthony. I know I always butcher his last name. I want to say DeMaria, but I know that's not the way it's pronounced. But Jay Sebring's nephew. And that is, we've listened to it. An excellent interview that Paul did. I hate to give Paul credit for anything, but like he really did a good job. So part 1 has been released. It's about 47 minutes. So go over and check that out after the show or this weekend to listen to that again, because Anthony is Jay Sebring's nephew. So,
Oh, hey, Russell got a new shotgun. Is that a double barrel or is it sawed off? Russell, is it something's got something special?
did I totally miss that?
Yeah, Russell. Well, yeah, Russell got a new shotgun.
Oh, yeah, I totally missed that. Okay.
Got some shells for it.
I see it now. I see it now. Rob. Hello, Rob. High count of Copperhead in Texas. I don't know.
Oh, really? Snakes.
Okay, I didn't know what that was. So thank you. I really didn't know what that was. I'm like, is that some type? I won't even say where my mind went. Okay, thank you, Beckham, for clarifying.
Shelly, I literally just had Danny stumped for a minute. Come on, give me a break to get into the chat.
I'm Team Shelly. I mean, Beckham, she could be completely wrong. I'm still Team Shelly. Sorry, got to go that way. Clem would have helped him with his wardrobe malfunctions, enabling Brian to. You guys are horrible tonight. Either horrible or like on a level of like being lit tonight that like I could only wish I was at. Like y'all are so funny. I did not. I read the reviews. I've had others have messaged me that same thing. I have not yet. And I really don't want to see it.
What? Oh, I didn't know it was out. Or she has her own documentary out.
Yeah, she's been in like a few interviews.
Oh, wow.
This is a new documentary. I've heard good things. I personally want to wait until after the trial until I watch it.
This whole case needs its own show.
It does.
Like, oh my.
That's why we're saving it to the end, because if some of y'all are like,
dude,
I just don't want to
this thing is insane. Hey, Danny, is butt dialing the thing?
Butt dialing. If I had a new subscriber for every time the Karen Reed trial said butt dialing the last trial, I'd be at like 1 million subs. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. Who the hell is Karen Reed? Tony Stewart. I think I've talked about her once, maybe twice here. So it's okay if you don't know, hun. I haven't watched it yet either. I'm debating. I've heard it's good. It's gotten good reviews, if that means anything. I just don't personally want to watch it until after trial, which I know.
No, I just can't wait. I can't wait for like the Netflix series on the entire thing. Like a year from now, because they'll have to film it and all that. And so like next year, I'm looking forward to seeing the entire story unfold in a series. It is going to be one hell of a thing, especially as while that's out, people are are being arrested and are being arrested for the actual crime that more than likely happened.
Yeah. So a couple of quick things, and then we'll talk about Kimberly Sullivan, and then we'll get to Karen Reed. But I just want to make sure I don't let these comments go unnoticed. K-Dog, the defense got a great gift with Proctor being fired. We're going to talk about that, K-Dog.
It wasn't a gift. He deserved it.
But it's a gift to the
I
defense.
guess. I mean, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, right before the trial. I mean, yeah.
The lead investigator, Karen Reed, needs her own channel and then a spinoff for the groomer trooper case. James Watson calling Karen Reed the future Mrs. Watson.
He's really, man, you really got it for her.
I agree with that. All right. So in regards to Kimberly Sullivan, who, so far in the chat, you're the only person that has heard about this case. So this happened in Connecticut. And some of the dates I'm going to say go back, but it's just recently blown up in the news here. So on February 17th this year, emergency personnel responded to reports of a burning home in Waterbury, Connecticut. There they found Kimberly Sullivan and her 32-year-old stepson. The stepson is not named. So the stepson needed help and told police that he purposely started the fire. What police have learned and first responders saw since then is just the stuff of horrors. And I keep going back to almost like the Turpin family, the Turpin kids. So keep that in the back of your mind. So the stepson, again, told police that he's been locked up for years. He recalled being hungry, even going back to when he was a kid and sneaking out of his room at night for something to eat or drink. And in school, he would ask other kids for food. He would either steal it from them or he would end up picking food out of the trash and eating it because he was so hungry. When his dad and stepmom found food wrappings at home, that's when they started to lock him in his room. His school also notified DCF, Department of Children and Family Services, when he was in 4th grade. State social workers twice visited the home for wellness checks. And Kimberly had told her stepson, you need to tell DCF that everything is okay. And I will say DCF has gone over many different main name changes, and thinking about DCF back then versus now, protocol is very different. So if you're hearing this thinking that wouldn't happen back then, this is more believable to his accounts. So Kimberly, after all these DCF complaints, eventually just pulled him out of school. He was only able to leave his bedroom to do chores. He was forced to relieve himself in a bottle, and what he would do was then basically use a straw to get the urine out of the bottle and out through a storm window frame. So the urine wasn't just being kept in his bedroom. Police visited the home in 2005 at the department's request because kids who knew him were saying, we're just not seeing him at all. Here's the deal. The police said nothing was out of the ordinary and the house was clean and lived in. What do you mean lived in? Like you could argue that any abuse, like a home where someone's being abused, it's lived in. That to me was just an irrelevant, that's what you're commenting. I get when we went, didn't see anything out of the ordinary. The home was clean. I get that part. But to say, it's lived in, come on. Well, police had to visit again. And the family then said to the police, they want information on filing harassment complaints against members of the school district who were calling to make these, claims or these questioning. Well, what is happening to this child? Now Kimberly wants to almost do harassment suits against them. The police asked the boy if he was okay. Again, Kimberly saying, this is what you better tell them. He said, yes, he was okay. And in regards to other family members, if you're thinking, where was other family in this? There was an uncle that has come forward. He told police that he remembered the boy as, quote, skinny, meek, and mild-mannered. When he tried to speak with the child, Kimberly would intervene, end quote. This uncle has not seen this child since 2004, 2005. And that kind of aligns with the complaints from DCF, as well as the students also saying, or these friends of his saying, we're not seeing him. Something's wrong. About a decade ago, concerned for the boy, the uncle actually spoke with a private investigator who suggested that they look for a death certificate for him, but they never found one. In January 2024, the boy's father, who had been bound to a wheelchair, had passed away. And after that, the abuse, now that he was alone with just his stepmother, escalated big time. So when law enforcement was at the scene, so now we're in the more present time in February this year when the fire occurred, law enforcement noticed that, quote, it appeared that the locks increased in security levels as time progressed and and obviously as he became older and maybe a little bit stronger, end quote. They noticed that both sides of his door had been secured with plywood and a lock, and that would be what would be stopping him from being able to even get out of his bedroom. An officer who saw him described him as, quote, extremely emaciated, end quote. He's 5'9" and weighed only 70 pounds. He was dirty, his hair was matted, and his teeth were rotted. Kimberly Sullivan has been arrested, and she's facing charges including assault, kidnapping, and cruelty. Kimberly's attorney said, quote, he was not locked in a room. She did not restrain him in any way. She provided food. She provided shelter. She is blown away by these allegations, end quote. She is next due in court this coming week. So next week, March 26th. All right.
I believe she has mental health issues. She's crazy. One, two. I've talked about this on a personal level before. Remember, you can't do this anymore. But when I was little, my uncle who raised me was a police officer in college, and he brought home some kids sometimes to spend the night. There was, I think, a couple of times where it was due to domestic issues at home with the kid's parents or something, and they had to get the kid out. And probably one or two times it might have had to do with like this, how the child was being mistreated at home, and they just couldn't have it was in the middle of the night, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, I mean, I've lived through it from that sense. So and it just, man, when I read something like that, it just really burns me because I've lived through it from that sense of seeing that. And the kids were always just nice, playing, made a friend, that type of thing, and it's like they felt safe for that night into the next day until somebody came, right? Until they had to leave.
Yeah.
So, and it was always hard saying goodbye because I never saw them again. So yeah, so man, that's just not something to mess around with, and I just hope that they get to the truth about it.
Yeah. Luckily, law enforcement
But you
was,
can't do nothing. Like the police show up, they can't do anything now.
yeah, hands are
That
tied way more
Yes,
than they were
right. I
back
mean, you're
then.
talking like
That's
a
for
long
sure.
time ago. You're talking like a long time ago, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The good thing about law enforcement being able to be in the home and seeing the space for themselves, documenting it, that they're going to discerning, like I 100% agree with you on that. Props to your uncle. Yeah, back on my agree. I'm gonna give that a star. Thank you. Yeah. So law enforcement again will be able to document this and show, she's saying, no, there was no lock, but yes, there were how many first responders there. There's going to be evidence of this. They're going to document that scene. Yes, they're going to be able to show that's a lie. In regards to the comment on restraining him, they'll be able to document that. In regards to she provided food, he's 70 pounds. 5'9", 70 pounds. So my thing is, I wonder if she's going to say he's the mentally
Yeah, I don't
whatever
know.
the word is. I'm blanking on what it is. That he's the one with the mental issues. That maybe he's starving himself or
Mm,
whatnot. If she's just going to put all of the blame on him,
right, right.
we'll see. Beckham, in regards to your comment or thought that she herself might be, have some mental issues, I see what you're saying.
Man,
I
let me tell you something. Hold on, let me
agree
tell you
with you.
something. A thought just came to my mind.
Okay, yeah, go
I
ahead.
put this together when I was a little kid. I wasn't supposed to be watching HBO, but I did. But when I was at my grandparents, there was a movie. It was a long time ago with a famous actress, and I remember now putting it together when those kids would come, when my dad, my uncle would bring those kids over, and why they had to leave their homes. Of course, they wouldn't. My dad wouldn't tell me nothing.
Right.
Or they would just say, hey, they're gonna spend the night. Hey, be nice, play, whatever. Um, there's a famous actress that made them in the early '80s, made a movie, Mommy Dearest.
Yes.
Okay, you know how she was mean to her daughter?
Yeah, about Judy Garland.
Yeah, yeah, or I don't know the whole movie, but I remember that scene. I was like, maybe that's why those kids come stay with us, because the mom is mean like that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's why I remember. I just, that's how it made sense to me, because yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that
Um,
the name of the movie that I can't believe I
Mommy
remembered
Dearest. Yeah.
when she was mean to her daughter, like super mean, like in the
Yeah.
movie?
Russell. I thought the same thing. No more wire hangers.
Yeah, I don't know everything, but yeah, that's when I was little. I was like, man, maybe that's why the mom, that's what made me think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Discerning Light is saying, yeah, they have evidence from his school when he was attending school. They had called child welfare
yeah,
services.
you're
When
right. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So yeah, with Beck again, just going quickly back to Beckham saying, about Kimberly Sullivan herself. I agree that she has to have some type of mental issues going on, but she was also
see you,
very
Russell.
calculated in this, so all right. Good night, Russell. Thank you for coming in. Have a good rest of your evening,
Enjoy your
hon.
shot. You're shooting. Be careful.
Oh,
Remember,
God.
don't point the gun at anybody. Point it towards the ground if you're loading.
And this has been a quick commercial for gunshots with Beckham or firing
Gun
gun with
safety. What are you
Beckham.
talking
Gun
about?
safety with Beckham. There you go.
Dude, you'd be surprised how many people they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then like they point it right at you. You're like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Like,
So I'm very curious how this is going to unfold with, Kimberly. I mean, this poor, I want to, I say kid, but 32-year-old man, he's going to have a lot of, from what reports have been saying, he's been okay, taking in, the help that he's been getting and with positive attitude. There's a big road ahead of him mentally, physically. Think of all the years of, I mean, he's going to have major health
I'm
problems
telling you,
down the
man,
road. You
that's
can't go through what
I
you've
don't
gone through
I
this
know.
long and there not be long-term
It
side
brings
effects.
back
But
those feelings when I was little and just with those kids. Yeah.
yeah, he'll have a lot of healing again, emotionally, physically, all
Oh
of that
yeah,
to do.
he might not ever get over it. That's a lot of abuse for a long time.
Yeah, but he's finally getting the care that he needs,
Yeah.
and hopefully Kimberly will be held responsible. Again, she's due in court next week.
Yeah,
So
I want to see what it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
yeah, I bet she'll try. Mark my words. I bet she'll try to throw her deceased husband under the bus for this.
Oh, make it all about it. Make him. It's his
Yeah,
fault.
that she was a bit like
Yeah.
she couldn't or wasn't allowed to help her stepson. I can see that. But once he passes away and the abuse escalates, yeah, that kind of throws that argument out the window. But I bet that's going to go the route the defense goes, because blame it on the person who's no longer alive. They can't defend
Right.
themselves. He
Right.
was wheelchair bound, so he's not here to say, wait, I couldn't. Could he have called 911 and reported her? There's going to be a lot of back and forth. What ifs?
Yeah.
But yeah, Discerning Light, absolutely, very formative years. Yes, emotionally,
Mm.
physically, yeah,
So
there's just a
sad.
lot of damage that will need to be addressed to this kid. They're now 32 years old. So we will keep you guys posted on that. And yeah, if you haven't heard that case and you want to, I tried to give as much information as I could here in this recap, but if this is something you want to follow, maybe go a little bit deeper in with reading, definitely check it out. So let me see, just I want to make sure that there's no, everybody's talking about Mommy Dearest in that movie. So thank you, Beckham.
No, what? That's what I could put it, kind
No
of put
more
it towards. Like
one-liners.
back then when I was little, I was like, oh, maybe that's, it kind of made sense to me. That's how I could put it together
So
without
Shelly.
anybody sitting me down and telling me like,
Yeah, Shelly. Okay, so Shelly did see something about this too. She also saw on Netflix a documentary about the Long Island serial killer. Well, if that's something y'all want me to watch and review, or have me and Beckham watch and review, I'm more than happy to. I just, y'all know how I feel about Netflix, but if that's something y'all want me to do, I will. I'm drinking out of my Danny After Dark pub glass. Yes, I love that. Wolf, I'm giving that a star. If I could give it 10 stars, I will. I totally would. So what Wolf is saying is, let me find it. Yeah, if you want your own Danny After Dark merch, your own mug. Is Beckham, are you drinking out of yours? You want to show it up to the
oh well, I was earlier.
Christ.
It's in the sink.
Well, okay. That means it's been used. That's a good thing. I have this, as you know, and I'm obsessed with it's. Oh my God. It's like my favorite thing to drink out of. So
that looks good. The black looks really good.
all right. But thank you, Russell. I love that. Not Russell. Oh my God. Sorry. Wolf. Thank you.
What's in the drink, Wolf?
What's in his drink?
Yeah.
Glass. It's Friday night. We know
I
he's
know, that's what
working
I'm
on something
curious.
for his
Are
channel.
you, is it a you know what I want to say? Is it a cold? By
He's
any
not
chance?
from New.
By
He's not
any
in
chance,
Boston.
Wolf? By any chance, since you're out east, is there any chance you're drinking a cold Samuel Adams?
Across the street from a cold Samuel Adams. Are you at that bar in Boston, Wolf? He said water.
Oh.
Shelly just outed you. You had your cup in the back of the cabinet?
Oh yeah, she was drinking tea out of it. No, I didn't. It was washed. It was behind the other one.
Oh my God. And his internet went down. What timing? You just got outed by your girl. Shame, Beckham, shame.
It wasn't in the back. She's trying to start a fight.
Just seltzer, just left over from dinner. So nothing exciting.
What kind of
I have an
seltzers
early
do you
morning
drink?
tomorrow.
Like
So.
lemon flavored, berry flavored? They're not alcoholic, are they?
No. Raspberry lime. I debated it. I have in the fridge. I did have some pumpkin liqueur, and I was debating that, and I was like, no, it's too thick to have just like sitting here as I'm doing the show. So that will probably be my after. Team Danny. Thank you, Shelly. Hard seltzer.
Hey, Chrissy.
I wish. I have an early morning tomorrow, so I can't. All right.
Drinking White Claw. I can see Danny being a White Claw.
Oh, that's the.
Hey guys, I got the blueberry out, or whatever the
White
brand
Claw's
is.
all right. It's all right. Okay. Speaking of White Claw, Auntie Deb, who has been on my channel, we've talked about him. He does the Karen Reed trial impersonations. Love Auntie Deb. When he does his imitations of Judge Bev, if you go to his videos, he's always just like, Bev is just like, yeah, they bring in the White Claw. They always refer to it's so funny. He does it in the funniest way, having a White Claw at the waterfall where So check out his channel if you haven't. It's so
what?
Good.
I was like, I've never drank that before. What are you talking about?
You have to. You have to. So
what's your favorite kind? flavor.
Of White Claw?
Yeah, there's like 8, no, like 12 kinds.
I don't
Do you buy the
typically
12 pack that sells the different flavors, or you stick to one flavor?
when I go to pick up anything, I don't get White Claw.
Oh,
I
I totally
typically
thought
get
you were a White
other.
Claw person. I could see you picking up a 12 pack of White Claws and going to that party where you guys have like y'all all like bust out the egg salad, or what does y'all do? Who's that one of you?
What?
Potato salad tasting night or something.
Oh, the mashed potato bar?
The man that there
Oh,
you
that our
go.
friend does? Oh my
Yes,
God.
that's what it. What is it? What is it again?
Does a mashed potato bar.
That's who does that. But I get it.
When I walked in and saw that for the first time, I was like, what the heck? And then I was like, this is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. Because the big
Are you serious?
table, or I think she
Right.
had it on like her island in
Yeah.
her kitchen. Every type of like topping you could want. It was just the coolest, amazing.
So is it an alcoholic thing too, or you just?
Oh, it's just a party. And
Oh
she,
yeah.
yeah, like that's like, she has other things when she hosts, but like, yeah, the mashed
I'm
potato
sorry,
bar
I
is
got
like,
mixed up with the egg salad with the mashed potatoes. I knew it was something like fancy.
oh God. No, so yeah, in regards to like, yeah, I'm trying to think offhand what I would pick up. Um,
No, I don't drink Bud Light. That's water. I drink Heineken. I can eat with Heineken.
yeah, I'm just more of like a like want like spritzers. Like if I had to pick up canned stuff, like Barefoot's good. The Loverboy one, Loverboy's not bad. It's not bad. Um, but yeah, I'm more of a cocktail person, I must admit. So yeah, fun little
Martini.
detour.
I like a dirty I like a
Martini.
bruised dirty martini with 2 olives.
Martinis are good. Mojitos, like
Man, it's
different type mojitos.
cold. A cold martini, man. And when I'm talking about bruised, if the bartender is really good, how they just if they put a sheet of ice across the top layer of the drink, it's so good.
Oh man.
I
You know
haven't
what
had
I'm
I
so
haven't had a
angry?
martini in a long time.
I think I had one like the other
Like
night.
a straight up martini, and you're like, I had one last night.
Yeah, no. Hey, Sam Smith, make mine strychnine. No, so I'm still angry that when we went to El Coyote twice,
um,
we went. The worst mojito I've had in my life. How do you mess up a mojito? The first time I was like, you know what? We're still in a pandemic. Why that would mean you would make a drink bad. I gave the benefit of the doubt. We go again, me, you, and Paulcast for
yeah.
our trip when we went to Spawn Ranch and all the sites. Yeah, still the worst mojito I've had in my life. I don't understand how you can mess it up, but nonetheless, they did.
Speaking of drinks, specialty drinks, I'm looking forward to going back to that Dungeon Master place, Parla.
Parla. Yes, if you are in New England, Parla. Yeah, it's a bit of a
Dude,
pricey place.
I was tipsy that night.
I know you were.
Woo! That
Yeah,
was
me and
some good.
Shelly, we
They
know you
made some
were.
really good. Shelly was too. Yeah, we kept tasting each other's drinks. It was fun. It was good.
Yeah, there's a
That's a great
location
place.
in Boston too, but it's much smaller. So there's a couple of them here. And so what Beckham is referring to is, and then we'll get back to Karen Reed because yeah, there's a lot for that. But yeah, you
I
can
still
go
have
and
my
order any
card.
type of cocktail,
I
right?
still have my card.
Yes. Or you can ask for the card to do that. And what it means, they give you 2 Dungeons and Dragons dice and you roll it. And whatever number it goes on, there's a number on the card that goes to that specific drink. And you have to drink what they bring you. And then they write on the card, like number 9 is if you roll a 9 is the whatever drink.
That's
So,
right. You roll the dice. You roll the dungeon and
and they
dragons.
know what it is. You don't know what it is until they
Yeah.
look at their book. They're like, oh, you rolled a 9. That's this. And they're very elaborate cocktails. They're pricey.
That's a good point. Yeah,
But they're
no,
like
it was fun, man. It
elaborate.
was really good. The dinner was The food was excellent. The drinks were great. Yeah, it had a dark mystique to it. So it was. I like bars that are like darky. You know, like mystique,
Mm-hmm.
not too lighted up. So it was good.
Yeah. And the goal is to roll all of them. Like,
Yeah, good luck.
I know
Yeah,
it's
I don't
hard to
know.
do that because if
I
you
don't
think
even
about it,
think
you're going
Shelly
to
could.
roll another number
Shelly
that you've
couldn't
done at
roll the
some
whole
point.
die and then walk out of there standing up, get out of town.
No, not at once. Not at
Oh
once.
yeah,
But
no,
like you
not
go
at
over
once. There's
time. But
no
think of how many
way.
times you're going to roll a 9. What are,
Yeah. How many do we have? Like three,
yeah, we had like 3.
four? They were pretty strong, man.
I'm very picky. Like there's certain alcohol I will not drink for whatever reasons, bad experiences with some, if you will. So I don't do the card. I'll just order off their regular cocktail menu.
Mm.
But if you do complete all of the
Yeah,
numbers,
Chris went for the challenge. I think he had three too. I think we all like did 3 drinks, right? 3 or 4.
people did like, yeah, y'all did like each, or yeah.
Yeah, we did like 3 or 4.
So yeah, it's just one of those like, and it's not like a wicked dirty place. So if people are like, because I love it. I love it. It's just a cool atmosphere. So yeah, sidetrack into that. But all right, what's Shelly's saying? I hereby accept that challenge with Danny being the judge. Judge of what?
She thinks, yeah, she's gonna try to do more of like she's gonna try to like do more drinks with the diet. And
Oh.
man, calm down.
Oh, and then Shelly, in regards to El Coyote, Danny, you have to go with me. They make the drinks better when I'm there. Ask Chrissy. Okay, no, I will take.
Wait, what was wrong for
Yeah,
mojito? It just didn't taste right. It wasn't strong enough.
it wasn't that it was strong. It was just
I think when we
disgusting.
went with Paul, I just had beer. Didn't I just have like I
No,
don't
you
know.
had the
Oh, the
michelada.
michelada. Yeah, and it was okay.
That's like anytime
Dude,
like I've gone out with you like
I
that.
know,
That's
but the micheladas are even better in America than they are in Mexico. When I went for my friend's wedding, and I went to Mexico. I was excited. I was like, man, I'm gonna get me a true Mexican michelada here in Mexico, and they were crap. I was so disappointed. So
okay. Hearing you just say that just shows my mind is at Starbucks. I said michelate.
did you really?
That's it.
Oh my god, michelate. I want you to say that at Starbucks.
Oh God. You can take the girl out of Starbucks and you can't take the Starbucks out of the girl. It's so good. Oh. All right. All right. We've been hinting. Let's get to Karen Reed. There's a lot. One of y'all mentioned it earlier. Trooper Michael Proctor is fired. He's been fired by the Mass State Police. So State Police Jeffrey Noble terminated Michael Proctor at the recommendation of a trial board. They found him guilty of unsatisfactory performance in consuming alcohol while on duty. The personnel order specifically points to Trooper Proctor's conduct as the lead investigator on Karen Reed's case.
Right.
The vulgar texts he sent to family, friends, and coworkers about Karen. Quote, my decision to terminate Mr. Proctor follows a thorough, fair, and impartial process. I have weighed the nature of the offenses, their impact on our investigative integrity, and the importance of safeguarding the reputations of our dedicated women and men in the state police. This decision reflects our unwavering commitment to upholding our values, enhancing public trust, and ensuring the highest standards of service and accountability, end quote. A trial board decision can be appealed to the State Civil Service Commission. An attorney who is representing Michael Proctor has issued a statement on Trooper Proctor's behalf. Quote, Michael Proctor has served the Mass State Police as an exemplary trooper for the past 12 years. Until this order of termination by the department, he has never been disciplined in any manner. He quickly rose through the ranks of the department to the rank of detective in the latter part of 2019. After a bit more than 2 years as a detective, he was assigned to work on the Karen Reed case. Michael Proctor has never denied that he sent derogatory and vulgar text messages and private conversations with personal friends. He does deny, however, that his investigation in this case was compromised in any way. And the testimony at the recent trial board by commissioned officers of the department confirmed that fact. Michael Proctor's termination is a decision that was predetermined months ago by the department following the mistrial on July 1st, 2024. However, we look forward to the appeal of the department's decision in a forum where Michael Proctor will receive actual due process and a fair and impartial hearing, end quote. Beckham, thoughts on Trooper Proctor's firing?
A few things. One, this is the perfect timing for Karen Reed and the defense team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, we knew something was going to come out of this. I mean, we've been talking about it for months, how his investigative abilities were just bad, right? And then you sprinkle on that all the the derogatory stuff that he did with the text messages and really just embarrassing the state of Massachusetts and the department and everybody included, his family. I mean, just everything just out there right now. So we saw that coming and it's finally here. Now, again, two things. He could file an appeal. Now, for me, what's going to be interesting going forward, I mean, we've already diced him up with his abilities as an investigator. So we've gone through that. For me going forward, it's going to be interesting if the prosecution is going to call him as a witness. Number one, if they feel they can still use him as a witness, as a key witness, for their side of it.
They're said they're not going to call him, but the defense is like, we're calling him.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, today I was thinking about it because if he still appeals it, like, I did see an interview with a couple of lawyers, and one of them was like, "Hey, man, look, how many times have you seen this happen?" Like he was telling the other guy that they're active, right? One was a prosecutor and one was a defense attorney. So one of them was telling the other, "Hey, man, look, we know this happens all the time. How many times have you seen a police officer get fired, and then of course they appeal it, and then they're like, oh, they were wrongly whatever, and then they get their job back?" He's like, it happens all the time. So how is the appeal process going to play into it, and will the prosecution use them as a witness? That was this morning, right? And then some other, the other person, kind of replied back. He's like, man, I wouldn't touch him with a 15,000 foot pole. I would not use him. I would just exclude, get him away from my strategy, for what I'm doing, and just go another route. So if they're not going to use them, that's very interesting to me, because of this morning I gathered, okay, I was like, okay, well, if he's going to go through the appeal, they can still use them in the sense of like, still go through what he found, still go through everything, how he went about everything, the gathering of evidence, doing all that stuff, right? To kind of keep that up to par with the jury, right? To put it out there, keep putting it out there, right? But if this afternoon they said no, that we're not going to use them at all, then that's really interesting to me.
No,
and on the flip side, the defense is like, oh, we're going to call him. Mm-hmm. And then, they're going to just eat him up like they've been eating up Higgins. So, yeah. And if he doesn't show, he's going to have to show. No, he has to show, or he could be arrested if he doesn't show.
Yeah.
If he's called and doesn't show up, he can be arrested for that.
Yeah. Discerning Light says,
which could deem him like not, with the whole, if he does file an appeal, right, or if he does formally go through the appeal process and he's called and he does for whatever side and he doesn't show up, that will really hurt his credibility through the appeal process, big time. So he's almost going to be forced if he does, which I'll be shocked if he did do the appeal, but.
Well, he has an attorney that's already saying we're waiting for the appeal.
Yeah. Okay, so then he's gonna go through it, right? So you're gonna see him again. You're gonna see him for whatever on one.
Oh, it will be in the news as this goes on. 100%.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Massachusetts is the most. There is a lot.
Whoa.
There's a long history of the corruptness for the state of Boston with law enforcement. So that is fact, Tony Stewart. You're not wrong. Discerning light, he'll probably get his job back, but in another jurisdiction. Maybe outside of Massachusetts. I don't know. So remember
the other
last
lawyer
week,
was like, if I was him, I'd be long gone to Hawaii or something. He would just, because he's just embarrassed. He should be embarrassed.
So Turtle Boy, and we're going to talk about him later, but he posted this on his was it his Instagram or his website, because I do follow both. That so Trooper Proctor has police officers or police cars like outside his house now 24/7 just for protection. But Turtle Boy adds, well, that's interesting because when John O'Keefe died, they left the crime scene unattended for over 10 hours. And I'm like, Turtle Boy's not wrong. He's not wrong. Turtle Boy, Aiden Carney. Yeah, check. He's the Free Karen Reed movement, the Karen Reed you've never heard about, Tony. He's responsible for that. Yeah. So K-Dog says the defense is gonna curb stomp him.
Yeah, like just like they're doing with Higgins, man.
There are 1,000. They did it in the first trial. Oh, it's gonna be 10 times worse. But I do want to. So just a few things to pick apart in regards to Trooper Proctor being fired. There seems to be this like, well, he did it on his personal cell phone. One, I guarantee this is not the first time. And, this whole like, do coworkers vent to each other? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you don't put it in writing. And especially when you're in a job like this.
No, you can't. No. It's a whole dude. No. That's two different things, man. You don't talk about case related information, especially on a current investigation, a open current investigation. Like, had this case been closed, right? It's over with and whatever. And like a year down the road or 2 years, like, remember that Karen Reed case? Oh yeah, and then okay, you could say stuff, right, or whatever, right? But not while you're currently investigating it. Come on, that's so dumb for people to even think that.
I know.
That's so, like, seriously, you need to have integrity, not only with evidence gathering, report writing, but with everything that you're representing. You're presenting the people of your community, and which you held your right hand and said you swore to protect and defend, and that whole thing. So no, man, that makes no sense when people say that. Not of a current open investigation that you're currently working. No, you don't do that.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure where you were going with that. 100%. I agree with you. 100%. What I was kind of starting with was venting with your coworkers about it. Again, not okay to do it in writing. It's one thing.
Not in writing. Of course, not in like a text message, email. No, nothing like that.
Especially because this is the
now,
job
if you're going to
where
just talk
he looks
about
at other people's stuff for evidence.
Now, if he went to, of course, there's going to be locker room talk, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that happens everywhere. You can't stop that from happening, but you don't put it out where it can be transcribed, pulled back, anything, right? Whether it's like a text message, an email, a recording, or if you're being recorded, like, seriously, or a phone call, anything like that. No, there's always going to be locker room talk of whatever you're doing currently. Yes, but that's not, no, not the other.
Yep. And then this was, of course, they're saying, well, they're trying to minimize like his sister, his wife, and now his attorney that, is putting out these statements. Well, he did, he vented or whatnot on his personal phone. Okay. So that's even worse because you're issued a law enforcement phone for your job and you have your personal phone. So you are using your personal phone to text people who are not your coworkers, your family, your friends. You are mentioning names of of the cases you're working. You're mentioning, sorry, that's not even English, mentioning her medical conditions. You're like,
this is a case that you're actively working, right? You cannot just tell a complete, and I'm not saying a complete stranger, like people not even involved in the case,
Mhm.
right? That's completely, no, especially if, again, you're going to put it out there for it to be able to get drawn back. And what I mean by that is they can pull your email, they can pull your cell phone data, they can pull whatever they want to, whatever's out there that you put that can be used again, like that, in that format.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Tony Stewart. But Tony Stewart also earlier, I did see your question. I don't want it to go unnoticed about, is this going to impact his other cases? It already has. There are several that
Yeah, you
are
talked about
like
that early on.
Brian
Yep.
Walsh. That's one where it's very, very clear he murdered his wife. But who was the lead investigator? Trooper Michael Proctor.
Oh
So
yeah,
now his
man.
defense is basically arguing like, wait a minute, which is, yes, they should be doing that, but at the same time it's like, are you kidding me? And you know that there's going to be people who are in jail because of Trooper Michael Proctor, whether they're 110% guilty or not, that their attorneys are going to be like, wait a minute, he's now being fired for not doing his job. He was the lead investigator on your case that you were convicted. We need to look at that. Yeah, it just, he didn't do the job right. Like he
Yeah,
didn't.
that's
There were
just. I
so
mean,
many.
there's
We've
there's
talked about
no
this a million
there's no
times.
other way to put it. He failed at his job, and that
There's
goes
a
from
million things that
everything.
he did wrong.
That goes from, like I said, evident from the start, from evidence gathering, report writing, testimony, whatever, keeping it, keeping the records. I mean, I guess a record keep. I mean, and that's kind of goes along with that, right? Keeping
Mm-hmm.
the information to yourself, that kind of thing. So
Thank you, Zach. Yeah, it's one of, and when you don't do your job right, it leaves the door open for now. All of these, people are saying it's a conspiracy. He was, he was murdered. He was this, which I do think he was, but you didn't do your job right. So you've allowed all of these,
and this
theories.
was one of your own.
I know.
Well, again, I mean, again, I don't think it was one of his own. I don't think he saw him like that, because we'll
No, because
get
he
to
was
that.
friends with the homeowner
We'll
and the
go.
family, and
We'll. That's another part of it, but you know what I mean.
I think he covered for them
I think so.
to
Well,
protect.
yeah. Yep.
And now he's taking which I wonder down the road, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, maybe 5 years from now, where he's going to say, I covered for them and I lost
If
everything. Like,
if
if I'm going
hold
down,
on,
you're
yeah.
going down with
Well, okay. So what needs to happen is they close this. She gets, whatever, right? Reasonable doubt.
acquitted.
Acquitted, and then boom, immediately launch investigations. You start arresting people. You start pinning them against each other. That's how you're gonna get the truth. Who's gonna make the deal first?
Mm-hmm. Or it just ends and there's no justice for Officer John
And
O'Keefe.
that's really sad.
I think it's Beckham. I think that's going to be the way it's going to go. We'll see, but let's get to the next part of what
Yeah.
happened this week, because that's one of the things that the defense brings up in
Yeah.
regards to who could have done it. They're saying Karen Reed's, our client, is being framed. So, all right, more stuff to go through. There's been a lot this week with this. So, flashback again. So this has been happening all week, right? That the defense in the state they're in court almost every single day arguing for the retrial, what can be allowed, what can't be allowed, what the state wants brought in, what the state doesn't want brought in, what the defense wants brought in, what they don't want brought in, etc. And who. So Karen Reed's attorneys received a warning from Judge Bev, who said the attorneys have made basically there's been inappropriate behavior in regards to the defense. What she says is, quote, based on all the evidence, I conclude that the candor required of all lawyers has not been demonstrated here. I find that there have been repeated misrepresentations made to the court by defense counsel, and I conclude that they were deliberate concerning the relationship with the ARCA witnesses, end quote. Judge Bev called Karen up for a sidebar before discussing possible sanctions. Karen indicated she wants to keep her legal team as is. So Judge Bev ultimately declined to revoke permission for Karen's out-of-state attorneys to continue practicing the law in Massachusetts. So what that means is her defense will stay as is. As we know, Alan Jackson is not, he's from California. Oh my God, I'm totally blanking. Robert Alessi's from New York. So they are still going to be able to be part of the team. So Judge Bev also denied the prosecutor's motion to keep the ARCA witnesses out from testifying for the retrial. So she denied that. So the ARCA witnesses will be back for the retrial. The defense is also asking that certain witnesses be kept out of the courtroom before and after they testify. What this refers to is, if you remember, during closing arguments last year, Brian Albert, Jennifer McCabe, and Colin Albert came in that last day and they sat with members of the O'Keefe family. And one juror who has come forward has reported that she felt intimidated by their presence at closing arguments. So the defense wants to also exclude any mention of harassment that witnesses in the case said they have received by people not involved in the case. That goes to Turtle Boy, Aidan Kearney. So Alan Jackson called their testimony, quote, inadmissible and highly, highly prejudicial. To the extent they did occur, they are obviously in no way condoned by the defense, by Miss Reed or anybody connected with the defense in this case. And they're in no way connected to Miss Reed or the defense, end quote. So it sounds like I just said the same thing 5 times. I kind of did, but that's the way the quote was. Prosecutor Hank Brennan referenced communications between Karen Reed and Turtle Boy and says, quote, someone would have to choose to be oblivious to believe that information wasn't used to intimidate and harass witnesses, end quote. So that's what Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan is saying. For those who are from
Why does Brennan always repeat himself? I've noticed that.
What?
Why does Brennan always have to repeat himself? I've noticed that. I was like,
yeah.
Well, I bring this up now, and then he'll like, wait, I bring this up again.
Yeah, his arguing style's very different.
I know he like
and
repeats himself like twice, and I'm like, dude, hurry up! Like,
he came into a shit show, and
I know, and I know his background, and I know how many years he's done this, and I know who he's represented, and all that. But Jesus, dude. He repeats himself like twice, and then like it's like.
I love how I got you so hooked into this trial. It makes me so happy. So the thing is, for those of you who are from Massachusetts, New England area, and you've already known who Turtle Boy is, he's been around for years upon years upon years upon years. And I know a lot of people, you either love him or you hate him. I feel like there's no in between. In regards to this, like harassing people involved with the case, what I will say is Turtle Boy's way of reporting, and this is nothing new. So it's not like this is all of a sudden something very new to him. Like, no, he's been doing what he's been doing for years.
I'm sorry. We have a comment of the night with
Which
Capone.
One? Alan Jackson, the country singer?
No, with Capone.
Tommy 2 times? All right, I'll give you a star for that, Capone.
I'm gonna start calling him Tommy 2 times Brennan. Tommy, that's great. That's awesome.
Oh God.
He spun it like a mobster's name. That's awesome.
He did.
Tommy 2 times Brennan.
Well, you know what, Tony?
It actually goes well together.
So hey, it goes a star for that.
It goes well together. Tommy 2 times Brennan. Like it goes really well. It goes well together.
All right, Beckham. That's your new nickname for Hank Brennan. Tommy 2 times. Brennan.
Tommy 2 times.
God. Yeah. So again, Turtle Boy. This is nothing. The fact that like the state is like Karen Reed put him up to this. You know, she's no one can tell Turtle Boy what to do.
No, he's his own person, dude.
He's his own person.
The thing is,
he has always been a black, what's it called? like a back the blue type of person. And he's even like, this is very different from, but he's like, look at the evidence. So, and I completely agree. All right, before we jump into the next thing, I do want to say, and back on, if I'm, seeing this wrong, or if you agree, let me know, because you've been watching it as well. Judge Bev,
she's getting annoying to me, dude. Like now that I'm
getting,
kind of, well, remember, I came into this late. I came to this really late last April. Like it's been a year, right? Like April of last year, May or whatever. No, because it was before I moved. Or
and it
was it
was
after I moved?
before the trial ended on April 1st. Was it April?
Yeah.
I'm totally
And
blanking. No,
no, it was a little bit
whatever
later
it
than
was.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were
anyway, I
watching
came
the
into it
trial.
late, so I
Yeah.
learned like I didn't know the whole character. The fan I thought was funny. Remember the fan?
A fan.
Um but man, she is really like she's annoying, man. She's almost like she's making a little bit more, she's dragging it out when it comes to Jackson. When Jackson's up there, it's almost like he has to like change position, like come to it like he has to pivot a lot. She makes him pivot a lot.
She
With
hates him. It's
yeah,
so
I
obvious.
know I've noticed, or I don't know if she hates him, but she's made it difficult for him, and he fights through it, and he has to pivot a lot, not only with his like the wording of what he wants to the question, but he has to reword his question, or the sustaining, you're right, like the prosecution sustains a lot. I'm sorry, they challenge a lot and emotional a lot, and she sustains them all the time. And Jackson just has to pivot a lot all the time, and he's doing a great. I think he does a great job of
Mhm.
that, because she's really muddying the waters against Jackson when Jackson's up there, and he's
Yeah.
kind of like walking through mud or something, right? And just threading to the through dirty water or whatever. But man, it's just he's definitely overcoming that challenge, and I bet, because he can't talk about it, but once his case is over, it would be interesting, again, given down the road where you can talk about everything after the case is over with. It would be interesting to see what he says about her. I would
Oh,
want to know his own opinion about her, because she makes it difficult for him. I
yeah.
noticed that.
Yeah, her
And
bias.
remember, I'm late coming into it, so I've now noticed that. Yes, it's challenging for him.
Yeah. And she's 10 times, Beckham, she's 10 times worse now, like during
Then
this
before,
pre-trial for the
oh
retrial towards
man,
him.
yeah,
She is very, and it just looks so unprofessional. I'm not just saying that because I think she needs to be acquitted based on reasonable doubt and all of that, but it's just take a step back and just watch. She is so biased and is so rude to the defense. And like the things where she's like, "Oh, this is very concerning." And but like some of the you had Hank Brennan up there saying, yeah, we got, yeah, the defense was, yeah, we destroyed video evidence from the Sally Port where there's question that Trooper Proctor, broke her tail light. Yeah, it was old video. So yeah, we got rid of it. What's the big deal? And it's just like, and she's just sitting there like, okay, that's not concerning. Like, Trooper, okay, if we want to get the whole Cameron Reed was talking to Turtle Boy, there's messages, which we'll get to that. Okay, but it was brought up, what was it, a week or two ago, where Trooper Proctor, who, since he's a witness in the case, was not allowed to watch the trial, texted prosecutor Hank Brennan about that, which basically alluded to, yeah, I've been watching the trial. Where was Judge Bev's issue with that?
right,
She
yeah.
didn't have one. She didn't have one. That's your state prosecutor texting with a witness from the trial that he, again, nothing. That blows my mind. Blows my mind that she just doesn't address. Yeah. So that's not all, folks. That's not all. Let's see.
Man, I got some breaking news.
Oh yeah. K-Dog says George Foreman
Yeah,
passed away.
one of the hardest punchers in boxing history. Boxing heavyweight champ of the world. Fought Muhammad Ali. I don't know if it was Thrilla and Manila or something like that, or maybe I don't know which one, but there's a famous fight they had.
Yeah, this just broke within the last
Yeah, and
hour.
he
76 years old.
of course he won the title back in the early 90s at like 46 years old, 45 years old. Yeah, man, he seemed like a cool dude, always joking around, had the George Foreman grill. Remember that?
I had one too growing up.
Everybody had a George Foreman grill, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you first moved out on your own, that thing was important because it could cook a chicken breast pretty fast, and you didn't need a lot of space.
Look, George Foreman was the hardest puncher since Ike Turner. Oh my God, James Watson.
Everybody,
Thank you,
had a George
K-Dog,
Foreman in
for
college,
listening.
and everybody had one right after you moved out, or
Oh,
right after.
100%.
Yeah,
Everybody
everybody had a
had a
George
George
Foreman
Foreman
grill.
grill.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. So, in regards to what else happened this week with Karen Reed, so prosecutor Hank, let's see. Oh, okay. No, my bad. All right. The defense. So they have what they're arguing, obviously, is that Karen Reed did not do this. She was framed. And
Right.
part of their theory was that somebody in the Albert house did it. And they had to argue in court this week. And the judge kind of basically said, like, well, you're trying to say that someone in the house did it. Someone in the house did it. And David Yannetti is like, we're going to say who we think did it.
Oh, that's your boy.
Oh my God. We're going to
Doesn't he have his office in Boston?
He has multiple locations.
Or
Boston,
somewhere.
Salem.
Salem. That's it. Yeah, that's right.
Another one.
And I wonder how much rent he pays for his office in Salem, like office building in Salem. Wow.
Cheaper than Boston.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
But yeah,
well, I mean, I don't know.
If
it's in downtown Boston, I can imagine. Jeez, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the Boston one, but yeah. So
He's got to sell some side cold Samuel Adams to afford the rent down there.
God, I'm sure he's making quite a bit of money. I mean, after this case, he's skyrocketed. I mean, Alan Jackson has been a well-known attorney too in his own right. But so David Yannetti, so he went back and forth with Judge Bev this week. Like, she was like cutting him off from speaking, and he was just like, if you let me finish, type it. Like, David Yannetti was so
dude, she's annoying. Like, seriously, like, what's her deal? Seriously.
This trial made her look bad.
That's her fault.
I
agree.
Because
she didn't explain it to the jury. The jury was lost. What did she expect? The jury to be lawyers? Like they know everything? Like they know the policy of, oh, if I go this way, sometimes, man, you got to clear some stuff up. It's not direct. It's not yes or no or black and white. It's gray the way it sounds. And that's on her. That's her fault.
100%.
She should have said, listen to me. I am the judge. This is my room. This is my court. This is what this means. If you think this way, you need to go this way. If you think this other way, you need to go this way. I can't tell you how to go or how to, cast your vote or whatever, but this is what this means. This is what this means. And then let us know what you feel or how you feel.
Yeah.
That's it. 100%. That's all she had to do was just clarify a couple of things, and then this wouldn't have happened, and we wouldn't even be talking about this anymore.
Right. 100%.
So I was like, what's her deal, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm shocked that she's going to be the judge in the retrial again.
Yeah, I think. But I don't think you were surprised. I remember you saying that she's probably going to do it again, and you were like, oh.
With everything that, like, especially the jurors, multiple of them coming forward saying we were not told by the judge. And when we had questions about it, we were told, no, we're not going to have her answer that. Like, what the heck? What the heck?
Capone is like, the Capone thing, the judge is on the cover up. Oh, can you, dude, this would be, if that came out or something, I would just be like, Danny, I need some time off. I don't know what to say anymore.
Like I don't even know. So yeah, but Beckham, no, it's and for anybody else who is watching this, whether you're watching it live on TV or on your phone during the day or when you get home from work, whatnot, when the defense is trying to when they're arguing whatever motions they're trying to
Right.
argue to the Judge Bev, she's like, when you get to the point, when are you going
Oh,
to
and
answer?
yeah, that's what I was like. What's her
She
deal, man? Is
doesn't
she
do
just
that to the
is she
state.
like in that is she starting to get into that age, that old person age where they're like starting to like lose it and anything agitates you know what I'm talking about? I mean, everybody's gonna get there one day when just the air, the way that the wind blows will agitate you and you're just like, that's what she sounds like.
Like, if you're gonna call it
Yeah,
like
I'm like,
it
just
is,
retire. Like, just
yeah.
do you like retire, lady? Like, seriously, because you're not giving anybody any justice, man. Like,
But
seriously,
we're
you're
all
making it difficult for everybody. You sound agitated all the time. You're not happy either at home or something. I don't know. Like, go enjoy the rest of your life that you have left because you're already like you don't got many years left. So just go enjoy your retirement. Do something because she just agitates the shit out of everybody, and it's just making it difficult for everybody in the courtroom. Sorry.
oh, this is like Beckham. Ooh.
That's what I would tell her. Sometimes I wonder if she's drinking in her chambers, man. Is she busting out the bottle back there? Because something's wrong with that lady. Sorry. Hey man, you gotta give it to Jackson, man.
Ooh, I'm gonna cry. We're all watching this. Like, we're all watching this, which means a potential jury pool, even if you're not Beckham, you're in Texas and you're watching this. Like, so we all see her bias in this.
Oh, well, I was like, I seriously, I wasn't trying to be funny when I was like, Danny, what's her deal? Like, what's the problem? And then I remembered, oh, it's because she
She
failed.
went to school with Prosecutor Lally, so they have a history. It's just I don't know, but yeah, she was just nasty to Jackson and Yannetti like all week. And
Oh yeah.
of course, when Yannetti gets all fired up, it like does a little something for your girl. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. I was like,
No, just the
Yannetti.
way I've seen, like, man, like how Jackson again, the best word I have to use is pivot. He has to pivot his directive, and he's a very experienced lawyer, right? Remember, that's what I was kind of talking about Lori
Yes.
Vallow or very experienced. He holds his composure. That all comes with experience, right? And confidence and that kind of thing, right? Just by doing it and you're good at it. But man, he really has to. He's been able to pivot and has to pivot all the time with her, and it's like, really? Like, you're gonna do again? Like, it's Wednesday, we're midweek. You're gonna make me do this again? So it's like, can we just get through the week?
Tony Stewart, I notice here lately people just annoy me. Cats and dogs are better to be around. Why do you think I volunteer? Yeah, like no, animals are I'd rather be
Oh,
around
dude, I guarantee
animals
you run into
volunteering
her
than
at
like you
if you
people.
run into that Bev, the Judge Bev at Target, she's gonna probably tell you something.
She'll
Get
be
out of my
like, I
way.
know who you are. I know what that guy said on your show. Bring him
She's
into
like,
my courtroom. God. All right, let's step back. So again, Judge Bev being Judge Bev, in regard to the defense, like, well, you're saying someone else did it. So, and then David Yannetti said, the third party culprits we have identified are Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert. So they have been named. Special prosecutor, because of course this can't be all. This can't be all. Special prosecutor Hank Brennan argued that the prosecutor should have access to phone records between Karen Reed and Turtle Boy. Again, Turtle Boy is the one that
two times. You mean two times Hank Brennan?
two-time Hank Brennan. So the judge was going to weigh on that. what I saw, okay, I saw mixed information. Today, the
Oh no,
judge
I'm sorry.
announced,
Did you just announce the culprits?
yes.
Okay, could you tell the audience what each of them are, for those that don't know?
So Brian Albert is the homeowner of Fairview Road where Officer John O'Keefe was found deceased
Well,
outside of the
supposedly
home.
found, because he wasn't, nobody ever saw him on the lawn. But anyway,
Right. Brian Higgins, he is the ATF agent that Karen Reed and him had been sending flirty, or she had been sending him flirty text messages. He was there that night at the bar. He then went to the police station after like what 1:30 in the
1:30,
morning.
yeah, 1:34 in the morning,
Yeah. And he just tried to destroy his phone
through a
by,
military base,
yeah, on a military base, putting his, like, breaking up his phone and putting it in different pieces and asking coworkers, well, how do
an
you make sure
FBI,
this
an
is really
FBI
deleted?
IT,
And
yeah, an FBI IT specialist, operation specialist or something. Yeah.
yeah. And when confronted about that, was just, oh, well, just like it was just no big deal. It's like, what?
This guy sounds, man, he's already, I've been seeing this guy. He's already lied a few times and
Mm-hmm.
pretty much been caught lying twice, that I've seen, at least twice.
Yeah. Colin Albert. Colin Albert is Brian Albert's, obviously they are related here. And
Right.
Colin Albert, oh God, look him up. Look up his posts, like when he was on the stand, what a little brat. He just is like sitting there like, you're wasting my time. Like he acted so dumb. So dumb. He had cuts on his like hands and knuckles, I think like the week after, and there's photographs of him out. And there's, we try to be like, oh, I've never gotten in a fight in my life, and just really downplaying. Yet there's, of course, the defense who does their job
Sure.
found, these videos and pick, all the stuff of him where he's just like, yeah, roll up, I will beat you up, I will fuck you up and all that stuff, like making threats towards other people. Yet he's like, oh, I've never done that, and he dressed all. He reminded me of a Menendez brother at trial because he dressed all preppy and this and that, but like he just sounded like a punk on
Yeah.
the stand. It was just like, oh, I can't even do it justice. Look him up yourself. Look him up yourself. So again, those are the three people: Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert. So two Alberts and then
I'm
Brian.
telling you, man, I just hope once this thing is over, you start seeing these guys go down. But we'll see.
We'll see. That's the thing. So ultimately, what we learned today in regards to going back to two-time Hank Brennan here, is that, again, they wanted the prosecutors to have access to phone records between Karen Reed and Turtle Boy. And today it was announced that they will have access to Turtle Boy's phones to review his correspondence with Karen Reed. I read that, but then Turtle Boy posted on his Instagram or his website, I forgot
Yeah.
which one, again, I follow both, where he's just like, they're not going to have access to all of it. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I don't know. It was weird. It was weird because I read news articles that they do now have access, but he's saying they don't have full access. I don't know. I can update next week because I'm sure that will be clarified. Another thing. So as we know, where the jurors, several of them have come forward saying, we agreed to acquit on two of the counts. Judge Bev denied overturning that decision. They went to the state Supreme Court. They denied that. So Karen Reed's defense have appealed all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court in regards to them saying it's double jeopardy. They did agree, but it was not announced in court because the judge, it was not made clear to them that they were allowed to do that. So the thing is, the defense is still waiting on that decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. So what he has been asking Judge Bev is to push back that April 1st start date because they are still pending federal appeals. And Judge Bev was saying she's concerned because they've already started to prepare for jury selection for April. quote, months and months ago, we got the jury's commissioner office on this to get us the amount of jurors we need starting April 1st. That process will take additional months if we change the date, end quote. In the end, this week, Judge Bev ruled she will not delay the trial.
Now, so there's no delays, and they go through the jury process. When do you see it'll start? Well, what do you predict?
I don't know. The first trial they had to
Yeah.
go through, I believe the news said 400 jurors, 400 potential jurors to get to
Right.
the 12 plus the few alternates because of the publicity.
Mm.
Think of the publicity now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think weeks.
So like 2 months? You talking about 8 weeks?
I don't think that long.
6,
But who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
So we're talking maybe June, maybe
I'm thinking May.
May. Oh my
May,
God! So this
early
thing will be
May.
going at the same time as the Diddy case.
You know what, Beckham, decisions will have to be made. What do you tune into?
I know. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Judge Bev did address this. She was like, well, depending on how long it takes for, to pick a jury and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
By then your defense may have heard back from the U.S. Supreme Court. Like, Judge Bev knew this was happening. Like, again, they're appealing to the U.S. Supreme Court because you did not make it clear to the jury.
Right. Yeah, I wonder what her bosses. She's got bosses too. I wonder what they have to say.
It just, the whole thing blows my mind.
Whatever court or whoever, I don't, who would she have to answer to? What court?
Yeah, I don't know. Chain of command.
Right.
And I'm pulling up my phone because there was one more thing today, and I have the screenshot. So what was put out today is that the state prosecutors they've filed a motion to try to get access to Karen Reed and her attorney, David Yannetti's cell phone communications about this case. And
for how many days, though? It was only for a few days?
It was only for a few days. So your boy, two-timing Hank Brennan, is the one that filed this.
Not two-timing. Two times.
For all we know, he's two-timing. I don't know. I don't know his personal life. So, all right, I took a screenshot. So here it is. The Commonwealth seeks all texts, emails, or written communications between the defendant, Karen Reed, and attorney David Yannetti, restricted to those communications that occurred between January 29th, 2022 and February 2nd, 2022. The privilege holder, Karen Reed, has waived her attorney-client privilege with attorney Yannetti relative to any statements about her collision with John O'Keefe during the time of January 29th, 2022 through February 2nd, 2022. The defendant voluntarily and intentionally disclosed the existence of these communications and her initial thoughts about her culpability for causing the death of John O'Keefe during various public, and then it goes on, basically various public interviews and documentaries and whatnot, and that have been released. But what the, Hank Brennan, that's a search and move right there.
Yeah.
You're reaching.
He's got to do something. I mean, again, he's got to do something. But at least he's getting the support from the judge, big time. He's getting a lot of.
Besides the defense is getting the support of the judge right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is. Beckham, you walk in there, you're going to get her support.
Probably. I don't.
Well, not after tonight's show.
I'm not even qualified, but I'd be like, look, listen. Oh, we need to give Beckham his time.
Yeah, you have to say, I'm not with Karen Reed's defense, and she'll be like, "What do you want? You're gonna get it all."
She'd be like, "What do you have to say, sir?" She'd give me the whole floor.
Yeah, yeah, it's just wild. So we just threw a lot at you guys tonight with a lot of cases, especially the Karen Reed ones. Again, these motions before the retrial. It's just this case put such a spotlight on the state of Massachusetts, on the Commonwealth, for New England, about how badly the state, like this case was performed again, as Beckham said, for one of their own, Boston police officer.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I think that it's like a locker room split in
Mm,
sports when you have a locker room split where
mm.
two, yeah, I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I don't there this was not about, hey, he's one of our. No, something happened.
I get what you're. Yes,
Yeah,
okay, that is fair. What I'm really, I guess, what I'm meaning to is the death of a fellow law
there you go.
enforcement officer.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Not that his death and the kind of investigation into that should be treated better than an average citizen, because again, law enforcement always says they're supposed to do an
Yeah,
investigation to
those are your
everybody
brothers.
the
Those are your
same.
brothers. Those are whatever. You
But
back to
this,
blue, back but back to blue. Those are your brother. Whatever, right? No,
yeah,
no. That did not happen. Or
no.
that those couple days. Something triggered it, man. I think personally, I think this something was brewing for a couple days. Everybody went drinking. Of course, you're drinking. Things happen. Things are said. Egos again. Everybody's got an ego. It seems like everybody involved has it. There's like something, right? Their
Mhm.
ego, whatever, right, or whatever. So, and something happened. It might have been over a girl. It might have been over Karen. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. Who knows? But something happened. It looks like it was brewing for a couple days, and then somebody commented in there like something about a fight. Um, yeah, I mean, I think a fight happened, and then
Mm,
they jumped him, man. They beat him up.
yeah, I agree. Capone, I'm going to give that a star. The entire state government is out after Reed to protect those cops. I agree. Where's Paul? Doesn't matter. Watched his interview
Where's the
today.
second Paul, or what's his
I
name?
know the better Paul. I miss the better Paul. Yeah, so Paul is MIA tonight for y'all. We know where he is. He may or may not be watching a Bruins game. That I'm just guessing. Now,
He's in
yeah,
Nova. Where's I don't even know where he's at.
who?
Paul. It's like, where's Carmen San Diego?
Oh God.
I don't know.
All right, before we wrap it up tonight, because we're about to hit 2 hours, which is like wild. I feel like we just started the show. I just want to see, some of you guys may, let's see. James Watson says maybe Beckham will be called in as an expert witness in the Diddy case. I would have a lot of questions. Maybe Beckham will help get Diddy acquitted. Beckham, they see what side you're on. All right, K-Dog. Supposedly, Stephen Scanlon told police that Colin and Brian beat him up in the basement. He left the station before signing an affidavit, and speculation, though, so take with a grain of salt. They did fill up. Yeah, they sold the home. They got rid of the dog. They, cemented their pool. Like, there was so much
dude, they did
done
so.
to
Yeah,
that
this
house
is so
immediately after.
sketchy, man.
Ripped up the rugs.
You know
Like,
what? There's not gonna be anything. They won't. Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. You're right. There's no way they're gonna be able to go after them. There's like nothing that links anything to them other than substantial. Like, why did you do that? Why did you do this?
mhm.
But there's no proof there.
And Beckham, why is there no proof? Because the lead investigator in
Right?
the
Yeah.
team
Yes.
underneath
Right.
him
Right.
did not inspect the
Right.
house. There
Yep.
was yes, it was a dead police officer, but there was a dead body on the lawn of their house. They never went in.
Hey, wouldn't you think to walk around the premises just in case? I don't.
Not if it's your buddy and you're trying to protect him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm sorry. If I woke up tomorrow and there was a dead body on my lawn, I would go. They never went outside. The Alberts never went outside. I would go and be like, "Oh my God, what the hell happened?" But I'd
Right.
also expect law enforcement to knock on my door and say, "We just have questions, whether
Well,
they
can we
think
look
I'm a
around?
suspect or
Can we
not."
look around? We need to tape it off. It's a crime scene. They're gonna have to tape off the entire what do you call it? Your house, the residents
Mhm.
to look for evidence. I mean,
And they are
that's
supposed to have a law enforcement, somebody there
hmm
guarding the crime scene until they have cleared the crime scene.
right.
No, they left it unattended for at least 10 hours.
It's
And
embarrassing.
again, this whole like Trooper Proctor did he's always done his job. This is about, text messages, which he doesn't deny. Do we really, really need to go back and say you shouldn't have got that? You shouldn't have had the car towed to Canton. You shouldn't have done this. You wrote an hour late earlier than you actually had the car, or an hour later than you
Yeah,
actually
you're. I
had the
mean,
car.
no,
That's
yeah,
it.
you're right.
Like,
They're not gonna be able to go after anybody because everything's been completely changed or
yeah,
destroyed, and
it just is wild,
it
wild.
is crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. And like I'm telling you, I know you didn't touch upon it, but the Higgins, they Jackson went after Higgins hard and caught him in some lies and
Hmm.
the butt dial thing on the cell phone caught him like completely like looking like an idiot up there for a veteran federal agent. He sure didn't look veteran to me.
Hmm. But like, and again, Beckham, like, I know I've
And
mentioned
that
this to
and the
you.
reason is because he's lying. That's why.
Hmm. Totally downplaying
Yeah, like,
and omitting. But Beckham, and I've said this to you before, and I've said this before on the show, so this is nothing new. Okay. He goes through all this effort to get rid of his phone. So there's no, law enforcement then won't be able to extract messages from his phone from Karen. But they have her phone. Beckham, am I missing something here?
yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yep.
So they're gonna have those messages.
Yep.
Like, are you
It's
an
all
idiot?
like it's all digital DNA, man. You leave it everywhere. Yeah, you leave it everywhere.
That would be like, to put it simply,
I'm
and I
telling you right
know.
now, you can give me somebody's access to somebody's bank account, and I could literally write up a profile based on just reading. I mean, it's a print of you,
Mhm,
right? If somebody got a hold of your phone, they would be like, "Oh, this person is into this person's into that, or this person has a really good group friends, or these are this person's best friends, or this is a person's spouse or girlfriend, boy, whatever, right? You'll be able to tell everything, right? Same thing.
mhm.
It's a digitized DNA of yourself.
Yeah. Yep. You've said that for years, and you're absolutely right.
But
Yeah.
people forget when they're in the middle of committing a crime. You basically revert back to like 10 years old when you're
Mhm,
trying to figure if you're not an expert and you're trying to figure out something and you start collapsing because your thought process isn't you're complete your thought process is in shambles. You don't know what to do, whether to turn right, turn left. You start mixing directions. You start mixing direction. You know what I mean? Look at
mhm.
Kohlberger. He took a shower. He took a picture and forgot that, hey, let's leave
Shower curtain.
the shower curtain behind me, man. Like hey, I'm gonna throw away the shower curtain because it's got blood on it, and then
Oh
take a
my
picture.
god. I can't. Oh gosh. All right. So a few comments before we end for tonight. So any last minute comments, questions, let us know. They're mostly Beckham related. I wasn't implying that Beckham went to a Diddy party. He's not that cool. I meant his expertise with rap culture facts.
Thanks. See, James Watson appreciated my research into that. Thank
Mm.
you so much.
Diddy would be shocked at a Beckham
Oh
party.
yeah, for sure.
I've heard Beckham stories from back in the day. I'm not one to share that publicly. They were told to me in confidence, but yeah, Beckham was quite, yeah. Don't let this dark background. What candle scent do I light today? Beach or forest fir? Don't let that fool
Hey,
you.
I'm gonna go get me one. And I need a green one. Right now, I'm doing the blue one. I always forget the blue name.
Mm. If Paul is hanging out with Fiddle tonight, then like we all need to like say a prayer for
I
Fiddle
think
and wish
Paul's in
him our best.
Finland.
Let's see. Diddy, yo man, there's 1,000 candles here. I'm gonna give that a star. James Watson, that's amazing. How do we know Beckham hasn't been at a P. Diddy party? I'm going back with the comment earlier that he wasn't that cool enough. Shelly wouldn't let him go.
That's funny.
Yeah, I would back Shelly on that. I bet Shelly took him to a P. Diddy party. No, Shelly, no, she's too innocent. Or leap up to tell us about the juicy about the Beckham stories. No, Beckham every once in a while will like sprinkle a little bit of a story here and there.
Oh man, I got stories for
He's
days.
got stories. And yeah, it's yeah. When I write a tell-all book about what it was like to work with both Beckham and Paul on our Manson show, I'll be sure to put in some Beckham stories. Yeah. So I'm totally kidding. Or am I kidding? Pre-order now. All right, everyone. That is it for tonight's True Crime and Chill. Whoa, so much info. Again, next week.
What's on the slate for next week? Is it still going?
Is what still going?
With the Reed stuff, or is it are they pausing, or is it still going?
Okay, I don't know what the hell my cats just got into, but I just heard a crash. Yes, they're meeting in court on Tuesday.
Okay.
They're meeting on Tuesday.
Kohlberger is an everyday thing.
No kidding. Let's see what else. So for this channel, early next week, I will be I'll post for y'all when Zach has the
your panel thing.
Panel up and live. Again, it will be recorded on Zoom as he mentioned. I'll let you know when he does post that. So I'm very excited to be that I was asked to be a part of that. Thank you, Zach, again. Thursday night, next Thursday, Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, Danny After Dark, our book club. It's our first one, so I'm very excited for those who want to be a part of it, whether on camera or in the chat or just watching, be a part of that. And then True Crime and Chill at the end of the week. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for
Thanks,
another
guys.
episode.
Thanks for hanging out. Great show tonight. Energy in the chat. Thanks for the funny jokes. The nicknames. 2 times Hank Brennan.
2 times Hank Brennan. And thank you, Beckham, for being here as always, even though you show up late. That's all right. All right, everybody. Have a good evening. And remember, until next time, we don't live in darkness. Darkness lives in us. Bye, everyone.